Hi guys, so today I wanted to do a quick update on what I've been reading recently and a couple books that I got in the mail. So so to start out, I'll show you quickly what I've been reading. So I DNF'd a few books and I put them in a bag to sell to my local bookstore. So I don't have those with me. I didn't DNF all of them, but I wasn't a huge fan, so I don't really feel like talking about them. But they're not books I've shown recently, so. But a book I did just finish was the third book in a series. Let's see, here it is. It's Beasts of War by Ayanna Gray. This is a young adult fantasy. This is the third and final book. I just read it. It was really good. I think I ended up giving this 3.5 stars or 4 stars. I do kind of sometimes break up my stars because I feel like whole and even sometimes half is not enough. Like there's a lot of nuance between a 3-star and a 4-star is all I'm saying. But I did really like it. The reason I didn't give it like a 4-star, I think I gave the second book a 4-star. The reason I didn't give it that is because I thought some of the character dynamics shifted between books 2 and 3 in a way that I was not expecting. And some of the side characters that I enjoyed a lot in the second book kind of felt sidelined in this finale, which made me sad. But it was still a really good story. I said this in my review, but something I like about Ayanna Gray is that she creates really good characters, but also does really good plots, and she puts like her plot before the romance or any kind of like romantic dynamic. It's always plot first, which you don't always see, and I really appreciate it in that this series. So yeah, this is a young adult fantasy. How to blurb this book. These are our two main characters, Kofi and Ekon, and we switch between their perspectives throughout the whole series. I liked both of their POVs. They felt different from each other, which was really nice. Ekon struggles with, I believe it's a form of OCD that I thought was really well done. I don't have personal experience with OCD, but I do have a family member who has it, so they come from different backgrounds, but they're sort of thrown together, and they interact with different deities. There's the god of death. It's an African-influenced fantasy. So to start out, I guess I brought all 3 books over here so I can give you like a little glimpse of all 3 books. So the first book is called Beasts of Prey. I really like this cover. I like all of the covers, even though they did like a mid-series change. I still like the new covers, so I'm not really upset about it. I'm not really good at giving summaries, so I'm trying to like see what I should say and what, like, I don't want to spoil it or anything. Yeah, so you have like Ekon is like a warrior in training for this elite group called the Sons of Six, and they're mainly present in this first book. And so they're sort of set on like opposite paths. Kofi is like a sort of a prisoner of this place called the Night Zoo, and when she escapes, it's his job to like hunt her down and capture her, and so that's sort of how the story starts. wanted to show you. There's also this map on the inside, which is really cool. Kind of like when fantasy books do this. They like put the map like straight on the inside of the hardcover instead of like on a separate page. I don't know, there's something about it that I think is pretty cool. Yeah, so this is the first book. Put the cover back on real quick. And by the way, this is sort of a fun point of discussion. And so if you're a reader, do you read hardcovers with the dust jacket on, or do you read them without the dust jacket on? It honestly, until I came to the online book community, it never occurred to me to ever take them off. I've always read them with the cover on. And then like when booktube became a thing, I just like heard people talking about it, and like a lot of people seem to take them off when they read, which I found so bizarre. Not a bad thing, just never occurred to me to ever take it off. So yeah, this is the first book. And the second book, this is my favorite book of the trilogy. It's Beasts of Ruin. There's two side characters that get introduced in this book that I really liked. These are the side characters that I thought kind of got sidelined in the third book. But yeah, so this is my very favorite book of the series. I think I gave this like a 4 or a 4.5, 4.25 maybe. This book, I mean, all three books are like done and like well done, and like I would recommend them, but this is like what really brings it home. Love this book. There's a map in this one too, but it's purple. So yeah, this is the second book. And then, as I previously showed you, I just finished reading Beasts of War, which is the third one. So if you're looking for like a young adult fantasy, I would highly recommend these. They're really fun, really good characters, and good plot and world building. It just kind of has it all. And I did see that, is it Illumicrate is doing a special edition of this series. So I'm excited about that. And then next, I just wanted to show you the book that I am currently reading. I just started this book 3 days ago, but I'm not very far yet. Honestly, I've just dipped in, but it's a book that I've talked about, that when I did a bookshelf tour, I was like, I have 3 copies of this book, and I haven't read it yet, and I was like, I need to read it so I know if I want to keep all 3 copies, because I would say 3 copies for a book that I haven't read is even a lot for me. That's not something I really like to do. So this is called The Court of Miracles, and it is by Kester Grant. And the front says Liberty, Family, Treachery. So yes, this is set in a historical fantasy France. I believe it's fantasy. I'm thinking about how far I've read and like if I've seen any fantastical stuff yet. Right now, so far not yet, so I could be wrong, and maybe this is just historical fiction. But there's aspects of it that I would call maybe fantasy, so I'm just going to call it a historical fantasy. It's set in like 1800s France, but not like our 1800s France, because there's things that exist. The Court of Miracles exists in this world. And so the Court of Miracles, this is kind of, it says on the back what I think is a good tagline. It says, to protect themselves, the city's wretched formed 9 guilds: thieves, beggars, assassins, gamblers, mercenaries, smugglers, prostitutes, opium eaters, and men of letters. So those are the 9 guilds that exist in the Court of Miracles. The Miracle Court, I think is what it's called. So I've only, if you see this, I've only been like, you can't even see, like this far in. I'm barely in at all. But so far, it's really, really gripping. Like it's one of those stories where you're just like immediately like first person thrown in, but you're not confused, which I appreciate. So right now we're following, I think her name is Nina. She goes by a couple different things, so honestly I can't remember her name at the moment, but I think it's Nina. And something has happened to her sister at the start of this book that sort of derails her life. So she's kind of being forced to interact and maybe even become a part of the Miracle Court in order to try to save her sister. So that's really all that's happened so far, but the writing is really good. I'm liking it so far a lot. I think I'm going to like this book. I have a feeling. I just have that feeling that I'm going to like it. And the cover is so pretty. I believe this is the Illumicrate. It's either, I have 3 copies of this book. So one is Goldsboro, which is a bookshop in the UK. And they sort of do signed and numbered editions, excuse me, of certain books. So I have that version, and then I have the Waterstones edition, and then I have a book box edition that I can't remember if it's, again, it's one of the UK book boxes. It's either Illumicrate or Fairy Loot. But I got it because this historical fantasy, as I said, favorite genre. So I heard this and I was like, this is everything I like. So, and so far, it's true. I really, really like it so far. So hopefully I'll be able to update you more on once I've read more than like 50 pages. But yeah. Oh, I need to show you the inside of this book because it's really pretty. So first off, hopefully you can see that. This is signed by the author. And then when you take off the dust jacket, it's black sprayed pages, and then it says Sleep Eternal. Sleep Eternal on here. And it has a dagger and a snake, which from looking at the inside where it explains some of the guilds, this is the symbol of the assassins, I believe. Sleep Eternal. I can show you that actually. It's a really pretty cool page. I love fantasy books that have this. So first it has this page called, you can't read it, it says The Law of the Miracle Court. So it has like the rules that the guilds have to follow. And then it has this really cool page where it has these symbols of all 9 guilds. So yeah, the Guild of the Assassins has this sort of sword and snake emblem. So yeah. So I won't spoil it and tell you which guild our main character is getting herself into, but it's very exciting. I can't wait to read more. And this book is so pretty. But yeah, that's the books that I read recently. Finished up Beast of War, and then this is the book I'm currently reading, The Court of Miracles. So hopefully this was a nice video. Hopefully you learned some about some of these books. Oh, I just realized there's like a little poster in here with a letter on the back from the author. It's pretty cool. I'll have to read that once I'm done, once I know everything that happens. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. If there's any bookish content you'd like to see, just please let me know. Thank you.